last time when we left our intrepid adventure. A random encounter almost killed half of you.
Yep.
And what else did we do? We rescued a bunch of townspeople, probably about 20 townspeople, from the Temple of Chantea right before it was busted into and set on fire. Although you guys actually did the fire setting.
That's right. Never go half-assed, always whole-assed.
Don't half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing, in the words of Ron Swanson. All right, so you all make it back up the river. You got into that encounter, barely escaped by the skin of your teeth, some of you. And make it back through the tunnel. All the rats are dead. No more, you get back through the tunnel without incident. And you come up the stairs that you went down through the basement of the keep, back up into the keep proper. And when you walk in, you see Escabert, the red-headed dwarf, and Cuth Swift, who you rescued from the very first farmhouse, who was on death's door until you healed him. You see them kind of standing over Nighthill, the governor, who's just sitting on the floor, kind of tearing at his hair and mumbling, and they seem to be arguing about something. And you come up into this room, and you've got 20 townspeople with you. What do you do?
I walk up proudly and say, "We have rescued the refugees from the church."
They all...
What is going on here?
They turn and look at you, and Cuth and Escabert kind of nod to each other, and Cuth kind of starts talking to the townspeople and ushering them off into the hallway down towards the barracks area. And Nighthill's kind of stands up and, oh, thank you. We're just discussing further plans, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And he starts kind of pacing the floor. And Escabert, the dwarf, kind of takes you aside and says, "I think Nighthill is starting to lose it. There have been some further developments. We've interrogated one of our other groups of soldiers, brought back one of the mercenaries, and we interrogated them. All of these raiders are part of a cult of the dragon, and they've all been instructed to loot as much treasure as possible from Greenest and from the surrounding towns. That's all that the mercenary knew, but apparently the mercenaries and the robed figure, the mercenaries are just hired hands. They have no real part in the religious worship of the dragons, but the robed cultists with the purple armbands, they are actually in the cult proper and trying to work their way up through the ranks. And he's told us about some of the ranks of the cult of the dragon. He said he knew a couple called Dragon Claws that wear 5-pointed masks, and they're officers in the cult. And he says that he works for a large half-dragon, blue half-dragon, not to be confused with the Dragonborn. He and I went round and round about the difference between those for a while. But there's a half-dragon in charge of this army, apparently, and he gets his orders from apparently a young woman who our prisoner's only ever seen, but never spoken of, and doesn't know her name. But I think Nighthill's starting to lose it, and I'm trying to get him to hand over temporary control of the keep to either me or Cuth, who really seems to know his business. That's the situation as it stands right now. And Nighthill's still just kind of pacing around saying, well, we could, I don't know, maybe we should just surrender. I can't wait until that dragon comes back. And you all hear Escobar say this.
Perhaps we should just all leave. We have a secret exit. We can get to the edge of the world by nightfall.
Andrew's going to sit here and stroke his luxurious goatee in contemplation. Thinking out loud, he's going to say, well, on one hand, we should make a stand at the keep, trying to bring in as many refugees as we can. On the other hand, it would be nice to dispense some justice amongst this group that's invading this town.
While you all are standing around from a staircase kind of in the back corner, an exasperated-looking guy carrying a crossbow runs down and screams, "To the rooftop, quickly, there's been a development!" And he runs back up the stairs, and Escobar runs after him, and Nighthill kind of very reluctantly follows him up the stairs.
Nothing good could be up there.
Andrew takes off running up the stairs. Not even thinking about
behind.
it, just going.
All right.
Yeah, alright, you need to use push to talk now.
Can't hear you, Allison.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. All I was saying is that Ilara's going to follow behind close on Anders' heels because her eyes were kind of darting over to him a little bit while they were listening to Escobar because, you know, obviously this might be some of the dragon activity that our mutual acquaintance told us to go find out about. And now all of a sudden she's interested.
Okay. So let me get you all set up here. Okay, so you all arrive at the top of the keep, and the archer and Escobar are already over to the side here, looking out over the front of the keep, looking out to the west by the front gate. And you can see that there are no more beings running and darting in between the towns, in between the houses of the town. They have all amassed now in front of the keep proper, and they've formed ranks. There's kobolds kind of in the front, followed by mercenaries, followed by the acolytes with the purple armbands, and in the back there's probably about 5 or 6 of those what you know now to be dragon claws, the officers with the 5-pointed star masks. And in the very back, you recognize, you don't recognize, but you see about an 8-foot tall blue being who looks very draconic. Obviously, you can assume that this is the half-dragon that the mercenary had told. Escobert about.
Have we seen this before?
You've not seen either of these people before.
Beast.
Half dragons are extremely rare.
I'm just trying to see if it was the dragon we saw before in the caravan.
No, that's an actual dragon that's like 30 feet long and flying. This guy has no wings. He looks like a humanoid. But his face looks like an actual dragon, more draconic than a dragonborn.
Uh-huh.
And he is standing next to, hold on, He is standing next to a youngish woman, all dressed in like purple robes with chainmail and carrying a staff. She looks to be probably about 35, and you can see her kind of gesturing and pointing and looking at him, and then she points up. She kind of points up to the sky, and you see her put her hands up to her mouth and say, "Prepare the attack." At that point, you hear from high above you a loud screech, and if you look up, you can see a shadow pass over the moon and the beating sound of wings as probably 100 or 200 yards off, the same blue dragon that you saw attack the caravan comes swooping in towards the keep. Escobert and Nighthill look up towards the dragon, and then you hear a loud explosion from the front door here as the front wall is shaken, and Escobert goes tearing. The dwarf goes tearing back down the stairs, and you can hear him yelling as soldiers. There's probably about 20 soldiers down in the courtyard, and probably about 20 soldiers along the parapets, or the kind of the wall here. And you can see there are 3 ballista on the tower that you're at, and there are 4. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, there are 4 more placed around the walls, and the soldiers start running towards this general area right here. The soldiers in the courtyard. As the dragon approaches, the soldiers are running towards this general area. Because that's where the explosion came from, not from the main gate. When you came in, you know that there was a sally port here, which is a small door that they use to attack through forces that are amassed at the main gate. But it seems like the sally port here has been breached, and the dragon is swooping down upon you. Everybody, roll initiative.
Oops.
Wrong one, Gore.
Oh. No, I knew that. I just didn't click on my character.
Oh, yeah, you knew that, alright.
That I had to click that button to get my screen to show up. Window.
And roll for Warland.
Ah, yes. I'm gonna have to. Thank you for reminding me.
So, how many people does it take to operate one of these ballistae?
2. Just 1 to load and 1 to fire.
Would we know beforehand what skill check you're gonna make us do to fire it correctly?
I mean, you can tell that loading it would take quite a bit of strength because the bolts are pretty heavy, and it would probably take both of you to pull to turn the crank and pull back the leather strap. But then aiming it, it's on a rotating kind of pedestal, so it would take probably more of a finesse approach to aim the thing. So, short answer is strength to load it and dexterity to fire it.
Gotcha.
And the dragon's coming in fast, but you all probably have about 2 turns apiece before it's going to be right on top of you. And you can see the soldiers kind of spilling in and trying to fortify the front Sallyport area.
Julian?
Julian.
I don't know, man. This is frightening. Is there any clear targets on the ground, or is just the dragon at threat at the moment?
There are no clear targets on the ground right now. The dragon is within range of the ballista. None of the bad guys basically have started to spill into the keep yet.
Okay, I'll get to the nearest ballista and just kind of press my weight into the bow and attempt to pull it back while someone else cranks it.
You'll need to pick up. They each have a pile of bolts sitting next to them, so you'll want to probably pick up a bolt and put it in the slot.
I kind of toss the bolts in the general direction.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check. You can add your athletics.
Wait, so it takes 3 actions then?
Let's see. Loading, cranking, and firing. Yeah. So 2 people could do it, but
How heavy are these bolts?
they're pretty heavy. I'd say they're probably about 40 pounds apiece.
Still should not. I wouldn't. Okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, you gotta wriggle it into the hole. It's a really low strength check. Yeah, you get the bolt in there just fine. And let's see, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I didn't think this out very well. So yeah, loading, we'll say that turning the crank is part of the loading process. So it really takes 2 actions to load and fire. So Alex has got one loaded and ready to go. Julian has one loaded and ready to go.
She definitely mentions don't miss. We've got fire on our tails.
And let's see, which one are you? Go ahead and move your piece to whichever one you're at.
I'm standing on it.
Oh, okay. That's probably why I couldn't see it. All right. Well, Warlin, since he knows he can't probably load one of these things, will run up and attempt to aim and fire at the dragon. And let's see. He doesn't have a proficiency. He will use his dex bonus.
Which should be rather good.
It's pretty good. Okay, so we'll do a d20 plus 3. Versus, I gotta get my dragon card. Get back. Whew. It hits the dragon, but glances off its scales. Gore.
Alright, I guess I'll load this ballista.
Okay, loaded, no problem. Elara.
Well, I mean, Shouldn't somebody go shoot one of these things? It's ready to go. Or wait, we already did. We shot one.
Shot one, and
Okay.
Boris just loaded another one.
Okay. Well, should I go do it? Okay. I'm gonna run over here.
Do you want to piss off the dragon or not? That's really the question.
All right. As you go to fire, if you are gonna fire,
What?
are you gonna fire?
I'm
Okay.
looking for-
As you go to fire, I yell out, "Pin that bitch to the ground."
I love it.
All
Okay, so I
right.
have to do strength. Is that what you said?
No, this will be dexterity, and you can add your. Let's add your. I wonder if you should be able to add anything. No, just your regular dex. So a d20 plus whatever your dex bonus is, which I think yours is like 4, 3 or 4.
No, I have a 3.
Okay.
So what do I do?
It's
Just
pretty
hit the
hard to
save
hit.
button?
Just,
Actually, the unskilled under skills.
Oh, thank you.
wait, where do you roll in?
Under skills, it's at the
unskilled
bottom.
dex. Okay, I didn't even know that was there. Cool.
Wait, where is it?
Under the skill page, it's at the bottom.
I'm looking. Oh, okay, at the bottom. Oh, there it is.
Should
Okay.
say other unskilled dex with a little dice. You hit it right in the nose, and it kind of shrugs it off. But you were extremely close to piercing it. All right, Ander.
Well, I can't make it to the other one, so I'm just going to stay right here, and I'm going to load up a bolt. So, strength check, right?
Yep. You load it, no problem.
I'm assuming I have to wait for somebody else to help load it, or can I try and load it? I mean, not to cock it back.
I'm saying that loading and cocking it back is basically one motion. So you need to wait for
cool.
somebody else to fire it, but it's ready to fire.
That is my turn.
Okay.
With one. Whoa, our characters are fully healed.
They shouldn't be.
Mine was. I just reset mine.
Okay, so that was one round. You hear the scuffling down below kind of continue as the guards start to yell, and you can hear Escobert yelling, "Tame! Tame!" And the dragon moves closer. It's continuing to swoop in. It's within 100 feet now. So everyone make a wisdom saving throw.
Can I get mine at advantage since I got that special knowledge of dragons?
No, no.
Damn.
Wow.
It was worth a shot.
But I believe that some of you still have inspiration. I'm not necessarily keeping track of that.
I do not.
I should be, but I know Yulara still has one, and I think Julian might still have one. I can't hear you, Julian. All right. Well, everyone but Ander becomes frightened for 1 minute.
Now I'm going to aim and fire. Since
All
everybody
right.
else is frightened, right?
Everyone is frightened. At the beginning of each of your turns, you can try to attempt to make another DC Wisdom save. But since you're frightened, you basically have to use your turn to move as far away from the creature as you can. And that's really the only action you can take unless you succeed your throw.
Okay.
Oh, I need to make one for Warland, sorry. He does not make it either, but since it's the beginning of his turn, he will take that.
Oh, well, it's my turn.
Oh, it is? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. It's your turn.
So I'll try to save since you said it's at the beginning of my turn.
That's correct.
Do I save?
Nope. You're pretty scared.
I run over here. Scared.
Okay. Warland actually makes his save. So he is going to fire this ballista at the dragon. Oh my god. And crits it. Alright, just as the dragon opens its mouth and you guys kind of hear the crackling of lightning and smell the smell of burning ozone, this bolt goes flying from this ballista and nails the dragon square down the throat. And it kind of coughs and sputters and coughs out the bolt and kind of flops around in the sky for a little bit. And you can see it just kind of shaking its head, and you see it look down towards the woman who was leading the fight and kind of give this really hideous roar and shriek as the dragon flies off towards the towards the north, towards the mountain range, which is not the direction that it had flown off into previously. And it flies away until you can't see it anymore.
Well, I'm glad I didn't shoot the ballista.
Are we still frightened?
No, it's gone now.
So is Warland's turn over?
Yes, Warland's turn's over. You're actually out of combat now.
Wait.
Well, then, if that's the case, I'm running up to the other ballistas at the front of the keep to start firing in on the small army trying to invade.
Yeah, are they in range?
Yeah. Well, you can definitely hear that there is quite a scuffle going on inside of this. In this square here, there's a room in there, and you can hear shouts, and you see kind of the soldiers piled up here trying to get into the room, but it's a choke point, and so you don't actually see any of the any kobolds or any cultists in the courtyard yet, but you do hear Escobert's voice yelling, "Get that door sealed!" Oh wait, he's Scottish. "Get that door sealed!"
All right.
Yeah, Andrew's gonna still run out towards the other ballistas to aim at the army.
Yeah,
Okay.
Same here.
Okay. Let's see. The only ballista that's actually capable of firing into that area, let's see, would be... Because they're meant to shoot outside the walls.
Right. I want to shoot outside the walls.
Oh,
in the
okay.
direction of the leader of the army.
Okay. So just move to whatever ballista you wanna go to, and just move your guys to wherever you want them.
I just load it because that's what I'm good at.
Okay.
Do we still have to make the check?
Since you're technically out of combat, like you're not under pressure, nobody's fighting you. Like if you drop it, you could just reload it. So I'm gonna say no, but you need to make a check if you're gonna shoot something.
Oh, I'm gonna shoot at the leader.
Okay.
So it's let's see. Oh crap. So I just go to my weapons tab and just click on anything in the ranged weapon.
No. Go to your skills page, and at the very bottom there's other and the unskilled dex check. Roll that. To the left of that.
With no modifiers?
It puts your dex modifier in there.
Oh.
So 14. Did I take out anybody?
Well, who were you aiming
If I
at?
didn't do what?
Who were you aiming at? You've got a big tall half dragon and a short little woman.
Half dragon.
Okay, no, you do not. Your bolt flies wide. But they definitely take notice of it and look up in your direction. And
Now I'm gonna hunker low.
And who were you shooting at, Gore?
The woman.
All right, you nail her.
Is she dead?
Nail her, impale her.
Roll 4d6. She may be dead, which is going to be really interesting because you're not actually supposed to meet her for a long time. You nail her right through the shoulder, and she staggers back and is not dead, but is pretty severely wounded. And you see the half-dragon grab her around the waist and kind of drag her off back into the town through the buildings. So both of them are out of sight now.
Coward.
Julianne continues to reload.
And Ander will continue to fire, this time focusing in on those closest, but whatever I can get a straight enough shot to maybe pierce a couple of guys. And fail it miserably.
Yeah, do not hit anything. Let's see. Julian, Ander, Gore. Yalari, you're the only one who hasn't acted this round. What are you doing? Oh, I guess Warlin will kind of tag along with you guys to shoot the ballista if you want him to. Oh, you got to push to talk, Allie. Can't hear you.
Not sure she can hear us either. Or she just can't figure out which button it is.
Can you hear us, Allison?
Oh, no.
Oh, her sound. Her sound's muted.
Your sound's muted.
She can't hear that. I poked her. There you go. Don't forget to push the talk button. We can't hear you. No, now your microphone's muted.
I wonder if the button that she is pushing to talk is muting her microphone.
It was working before, though.
Yeah, that's true.
You never know with a Mac. pretty unreliable pieces of equipment, if you ask me.
Alright, you might want to change your push to talk button to something else.
Can you hear us now, though? Nod your head. Yes, okay. So we just can't hear you. So you're pushing your push to talk
just
button
keep
and
up.
nothing's happened?
Can you hear me now?
Yes?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So what was the problem?
Now I can't hear you.
Oh, I just said. So
Okay, good. That was the
not worth
problem.
hearing. I don't know. I guess. Are they even fighting us right now? Is this worth our energy right now?
There are a whole bunch of the kobolds and cultists gathered at the front of the keep. Although when the dragon left, you kind of saw them start to back away a little bit. But from right below you, in this room right here, you can hear the sound of kind of a battle going on and people yelling. And this red circle on the ground is kind of a cluster of about 10 soldiers guarding the exit so that trying to get into this room to join the battle that's going on in there, but it's a relatively small room, so they're kind of all bunched up right there at the moment. So no one is actively fighting you, but they're look to be storming the keep and trying to get in.
Okay. Well, I don't really know what to do. Maybe I'm just gonna move on.
Okay. All right. So as you see the half dragon drag off the woman clad in purple, you hear kind of the sound of a loud horn, and the army starts to kind of retreat back into the village. And Kuth Swift runs up and joins you guys up on the top here and says, "Looks like without that dragon, they don't want to try and assault the keep." And they all kind of start withdrawing back into the town, and you can see some of them even starting to kind of wander off into the woods, and it looks like a retreat.
What is their motive? What do they need the keep? They already have the loot for the rest of the town.
It's probably not enough. If there's dragons involved, they want everything, including what potential copper pieces you might have in your pockets.
And
I'm not so sure.
Kuth says, "Well, any of them with any military knowledge whatsoever knows that the entire town treasury is in the keep."
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
So you see them start to retreat, but from the same area where the half dragon drug the woman away, you see him start to come back and approach the keep by himself with about 15 kobolds. And each of the kobolds have either a woman or a child kind of that they're marching in front of them with a knife to their throat. And this small group, begins to approach the keep. And with that, we will take a very short break because some of us have to go to the bathroom.
Throw them all.
Dang, already?
Dang already.
Throw them on top.
So we'll see you in 5 minutes. All right, so the bulk of the army has begun to withdraw, but you see the 15 hostages, and he begins walking kind of across the field to the keep. and the hostages each have kind of a kobold behind them with a knife to their throat.
I want to load the crossbow. Or the ballista. And have it point directly at them as best I can.
Yeah, same here. That half dragon's like 8 feet tall.
Okay, let's see. I think one of you had already loaded, had the ballista
I'm
loaded.
just continue loading.
Okay. So, you both aim the ballista at him, and he's still pretty far away. I'm gonna go ahead and make a perception check on him to see if he even notices that you're pointing at him.
Wouldn't he already know, seeing that the other woman just got shot? Or
This is after.
Yeah, I mean, he just got shot, but he's kind of got his own agenda now. I mean, he knows that you guys are up there, but I'm wanting to see if he specifically sees that you point the ballista at him as he approaches, because he's walking big and tall, like, I've got all these hostages, nobody's gonna mess with me. Yeah, he definitely sees you pointing the ballista at him, and grabs one of the hostages away from the kobold and like picks her up kind of by the hair and holds her 3 feet off the ground right in front of him, and holds a dagger up to her throat and just looks up at you guys and shakes his head like that and continues approaching the keep.
I'm gonna yell out, if you harm them, it will be the last thing you do today.
Okay, as he gets close, he says, "Good. It seems like we have a few souls in there with some fight left in them. I'm feeling very generous today. It's been a good day with lots of plunder, and though you may have scared off that poor excuse for a dragon, you have not scared me off. If one champion will come out and face me in one-on-one combat, I will spare the lives of these hostages. For each minute that passes without someone coming to face me, one of them will die." And he sets the woman down on the ground and just looks up at you all and at the soldiers that are kind of gathered around the inside of the front gate watching what's going on now.
Who's challenging? The dragon or the person?
The half dragon. The 8 foot tall half dragon says if one champion will come and face him on one-on-one combat, he will let the hostages live. And you hear a murmur come up from below you from the soldiers.
Maybe if I had a short rest, I'd be able to do it. Can someone stall him?
I don't even think a short rest is going to be enough for this guy.
You see Escabert, the dwarf with the red head, kind of stumble out below you of the back of this sally port, and he's all bloody, and you can see that one of his arms has been completely cut off at the shoulder.
Ooh.
And he's holding his battle axe and kind of leaning on it as like other soldiers are kind of attending to his wound and patching him up, and he says, "I'd come out and fight you myself, but I've got an arm off right now. Do any of you have the courage to save the lives of these 15 villagers?" And looks around kind of at the soldiers down below. Nobody sees you guys up on the roof. All the rest of the soldiers that were up on the top of the keep have gone down and joined the group kind of amassing at the front of the keep now.
Ender's just going to yell out, "You will find justice for what you have done here today. Justice will find you."
He looks up and he says, I'm certain of that. It's been about a minute," and he slits the woman's throat and throws her down to the ground.
Wait, I didn't get a chance to talk yet.
And picks up another one.
Julian loads another crossbow. The Talia thing.
They're
how
both
tall
loaded.
is the wall?
No, there's the third one though.
Oh, okay. You load the third one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He looks up and says, "I wouldn't be doing that if I were you," and kind of presses the knife hard against the woman's throat. It's about a 20-foot drop from the wall. And he's so close to the front of the keep now that at least these two ballista up on the parapet won't point down enough to reach him.
Oh, seriously, we let him get that close?
So,
I'm gonna look at Gore and Juliet and be like, "Any takers? We must try to save
what would I have
these
to
people's
roll?
lives."
if
You can retcon it and say if you wanted to shoot him before he got close enough that it would be out of range. I mean, we can go back and you can do that if you want.
No, I told him that I would fire at him if he hurt any of them. So if he waited until he got too close to where I couldn't fire, and then killed him,
Yeah.
kind of nothing Ander can do.
He is right here, and the iron bars are still intact at the front
We
of the
still
gate.
have normal weapons.
Yes, you still have normal weapons. I'm sorry, Gore. What was your question? It's 20 feet down to the ground from where you're at.
Right. What would I have to roll to jump down without damage?
I mean, there's falling damage.
You could
Normally
climb down or you could jump down.
Yeah, if you just jump down, you're gonna take, I think it's 2d10 damage or something like that.
I can't roll something to
1d10 per 10
avoid
feet.
that somehow.
Right. You can climb down. You can make an athletics check to just kind of climb down, or I'll let you make an athletics check to jump down, but it's going to be pretty difficult for you to jump and land and roll perfectly without taking any damage whatsoever.
You might sprain your ankle.
Yeah. But if you do well on the roll, I will lessen the damage if you want to jump.
All right. What about over here? Is that like a lower part?
Those are actually just tables, like kind of big, like brick made like workbenches. So they're maybe 5 feet tall. So it's probably like 3.5 feet tall.
15 foot, well, yeah, 17 and a half feet,
Yeah.
16 and a half feet down.
Yeah.
All right. So if I like grab onto the ledge and just like hang from the ledge and then drop down, it's only 10 feet.
Yeah.
Would I take damage?
You take 1d10. You take d10 damage for every 10 feet.
Okay.
Unless you make if you make a really good athletics check, you could take no damage. If you make a pretty good one, you could take half damage. Or you could just try to climb.
All right. I'll just climb then.
Okay.
Is that also athletics?
Yeah, but the skill check's easier. But not quite that easy. All right, you start climbing and lose your grip on the way down. Were you climbing down the outside or the inside?
The inside.
Okay. Put your token where you wanted to land. All right. And you kind of slip and fall backwards. And you take 1 damage.
No one saw that. Don't worry.
Yeah,
All right,
everyone's
whatever.
attention's still focused at the front.
All right, so I'm gonna get up and move outside the keep.
I'm not sure unbarricading the door is a good idea.
Yeah, well, you're still so
But
you've
there's
got,
no more. Everybody, the army retreated. It's just the 15 kobolds or whatever.
right. So
Yeah, and
this
as you can see, the rest of us aren't exactly in the best fighting conditions.
this red circle is all the soldiers looking out through the iron gate in the middle of the main door, and then obviously this red circle is the half dragon and the kobolds and the hostages. And you can walk through either of these kind of parapet looking room things. That's a sally port that they had broken in through. So
Okay, so it's open? I didn't know that.
it's pretty much wide open right now. You can
Okay.
tell he's not trying. The half dragon's not trying to get into the keep. He says, he wants one person to come and fight him.
Okay, well, I'm trying to get out of the keep.
Okay.
Do you have any healing spells, Ender?
I am tapped out for the day.
As you kind of approach and start to kind of go through the sally port door, Escobert with his arm off stops you and says, "Are you planning on going and facing that monster?"
I'm gonna shove him aside and still walk out.
Okay.
How far away from the wall is the dragon?
They're right up next to it. They're right up next to the door here. There's 15 kobolds and the half dragon.
Okay. If you want to do this,
So-
Gore, I've got your back.
Is anybody going to listen to Escobert at all? Because I'm kind of curious.
Yeah,
He has any
Escobert
insight.
kind of calls out and says, "You damn fool! I'm only trying to help you." After you shove him to the side. But anyway, so you walk out of the keep. So you, I think you can. Is that where you want to be, basically?
Fine.
Okay. Okay, so you're outside of the keep, and
Okay. Can I see the dragon from this side?
Yeah,
Or
oh
the half
yeah,
dragon?
yeah. You're right. You're 10 feet away from him. He turns and looks at you and is like, finally a worthy challenger," and sets down his hostage. And you can see when you're up this close to him that he's got like a necklace of torn off fingers and like skulls hanging from. He looks like the Predator basically, and looks like a pretty brutal dude. And he looks at you and draws his sword. What are the rest of you doing when you see Gore drop down?
I am loading my light crossbow and moving into position where I'm in, but I'm kind of like doing it behind my back while trying to keep an eye on Gore.
Okay.
I climb down.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Man,
Yeah, that's I'm gonna say that you basically the same as Gore, make it about halfway down and lose your grip for 5 damage.
Okay, I'm at 2.
Let's see, how many of you can speak Draconic? I'm pretty sure almost all of you can.
I think I'm pretty sure that I can.
I know Andrew
From my
and Laura
backstory.
can.
Oh, okay. Julian?
Is there any way to like whisper multiple people?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I would just copy one, say it to one and then copy it to the others.
All right, give me a second here.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot I have hit dice.
You can spend those in your short rests and your long rest. Or yeah, you can spend those on your
Is
short
there
rests.
any chance I could have like retconned this just a little bit and been like, there's probably a short rest as the army in front of the keep was dispersing, and I'm like, just like relaxing up against the.
No, short rest has to be at least an hour.
Oh, that's right. They changed it from like 5 minutes to an hour. All right. Dude, I totally forgot I have hit dice.
Which is why I asked for a short rest before. Clearly.
Sorry, Ryan.
That's okay.
You have to say something too, or I can if you want.
You have to say it in Draconic.
Well, I'm responding to you in the whisper, just in case anybody... And I'm going to say that you're far enough away from them. Ander might be close enough to hear. And I guess I could have retconned all of that easily, Gore, by saying you would know that it's not what you think it is.
Oh, okay.
I guess I should have just said that.
I just assumed because you said the half dragons were so rare.
They are really rare, but not as rare in some areas or circles.
When you analyze the population as a whole.
All right, so Ander, you're perched above with your crossbow kind of at the ready. Julian, you're down inside the keep at this point.
I'm just
Yalara,
crying.
are you just hanging out? Push to talk?
This is hard to remember to do. Okay,
It gets easier, I promise.
but well, I'm kind of torn because on one hand, I hate seeing innocent people hurt, like that poor woman down there, and I see these kids and these ladies, and I'm kind of wondering if I can help while the fighting is going on. I mean, there's no way I'm getting up in that business.
Well, you said you were curious about what Escobert had to say.
Well, yeah, so I'm trying to decide if I should stay up here and ask him. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to come up next to him and be like...
Well, Escobert's down on the lower level. He's in the keep, so you're probably 20 feet above him at this point.
Oh, I don't know what to do then.
You can either drop down like everyone else, and it would be an athletics, or even an acrobatics check for you. Probably athletics to climb. Or you can just walk back and go down the stairs that you came up and go through the keep out into the courtyard, but that'll take you a little bit longer. Push to talk.
I'll see if I can do it, I guess. What do I do?
Go ahead and just make an athletics skill check. Yeah, you scramble down the wall, no problem.
He Legolas is down the wall.
He's my bro,
You're right next to Escobert as he's kind of getting bandaged up and glaring through the grate, through the iron portcullis at the half-dragon, who's starting to square off against Gore.
Alright, well, Ryan, if I had known that, I would have done something differently, but whatever.
You can retcon it. You would have known that. You would have known that on site.
Nah, I don't want to do that. I'll still. Alright, I'm just going to attack him with my pike, if that's...
Okay, hold on just a second. Yalara, what do you say to Escobert real quick? Finish your action.
Okay. Do you know anything that can help him? I asked. Is there anything you can tell us about how to defeat this monster?
I don't know anything about these dragons. I'm in charge of the defense of this keep, and it has stood for the most part. But that damn fool just ran off to face this monster. I was gonna give him this, and he puts into your hand what I just whispered you.
So I look down, and what I see in my hand is a flask that appears to be made out of gold, or at least just maybe it's colored gold. I guess it's not that heavy, so it's just colored gold. And it says respite on it. So I look at it and I kind of narrow my eyes and I ask, so do I need to throw this to Gore, or do you want me to hold on to this?
Well, if your mate's getting ready to go up against that thing, he could probably do with a swig from that. But what you do with it's up to you. He pushed me aside, so he can go hang for all I care.
Okay, so I think to myself, well, old Esky sounds a little fussy.
Well, he did just get his arm chopped off.
But, you know, the lost in appendage will do that. So anyway, I'm like, okay. And, okay, so it's a grate in front of us, right? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
There's like a portcullis, which is like an iron grid gate barring this area in between the two towers, and then there's a open door through this room, which is what Gore walked through. He walked through just like that, so you can
Okay.
get to the outside through that way. And as all this is going on, you see Nighthill and Kuth come down and join the people at the front.
Okay, so am I done? Am I done now?
Yeah, Julian, do you want to do anything else? I want to make sure everybody gets done generally what they want to do before the fight starts.
I kind of just step outside and attempt to look intimidating.
You step outside, so you want to go through the same... Okay, the only one that's open is the one where Gore is, so you have to come out right here. Okay. As soon as you pop out, the half-dragon says, I said this was to be a one-on-one combat.
I'm just watching, bro. In Draconian.
You can watch from the other side.
I kind of just
Go back to the other side. Okay.
Can I step back over here and he'll be okay with it?
Yeah, he kind of grumbles a little bit, but since you're that far away, he puts the knife away from the person's neck. All right. So, even though Gore is the only one on the outside to keep track of when everyone can do everything, I'm gonna go ahead and have everyone roll initiative.
God, so horrible.
Hold on a second, let me...
The dice here do not like me the slightest bit.
I was trying to see if I had a token for this guy. I do not.
I don't have to use a special token.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to use the ambush Drake there to represent him. Warland's going to be a bystander here. Okay. Add turn. All right. Sorry, I'm just filling in all of his pertinence. I didn't quite expect this to go down. Okay. All right. So, Julianne, you've backed off to there. Do you want to do anything else now?
I'll just wait until someone cheats.
Okay. And the half-dragon says, he turns to his kobolds and says, "This is to be a fair fight. Even if I go down, you are all to let the hostages go. In fact, as a show of good faith, since we've gotten somebody to come out and face me, I'll let half of them go now." And he lets half of the hostages go. If any of you if any of your counterparts step in, my kobolds will also step in. Yulara, would you like to do anything?
Yeah, all I can think about is I've got to get this flask to Gore just in case he might use it. I don't know. But then I'm realizing, does it need to have something in it? Oh, it already does. Okay, so all these things I'm thinking.
You can tell that it's full of liquid.
Yeah. Okay. So can I run through there and give it to,
5, 10,
or throw it at you, Gore?
25. You can just make it to him. Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. I'm going. Okay, and
Oh, push to talk.
oh, okay. I know they're fixing to fight, and I don't want to draw too much attention, in case somebody freaks out that I'm doing this. But I try to speak just loudly enough for Gore to hear me.
You're right next to him. You're just barely on the inside of the door, and he's just right on the outside of the door.
Okay. So I just say, quietly enough that just he can hear. It's like, Gore, here. And I toss it to him.
Okay. Gore, she tosses you a golden flask. It looks like a whiskey flask, and it just says respite across the top.
I'm too focused on the half dragon, so maybe it hits me, but I ignore it.
Okay. All right. It is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna step forward and attack with my pike.
All right. Good luck. That is a hit. That is quite a good hit, actually. Okay. Anything else you can do? Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna move back
Okay.
to here.
Alright, let me check. Oh, since he hasn't acted yet, he's not gonna get... Okay, he doesn't. He does have his great sword out, though. That has reach 5 feet, so that will incur a...
Oh, it does. Okay, I did.
Yeah, he's got reach, too.
Oh, okay.
He's got a big great sword out.
So is he gonna attack me then?
Yeah, I've got all his stats here. I'm trying to see what his bonus to attack is with the great sword. It's pretty good. 17 versus AC.
That hits.
Wow. For 11 damage.
Okay. I'm unconscious.
Oh, crap.
All right.
But, okay, so did he, fall over? Or are you just
Yeah.
standing there? Okay, it looks really bad, but I'm thinking maybe it's time to put the flask to use. So can I run out there?
You can on your turn. That was an attack of opportunities spawned by the end of Gore's turn, so now the half-dragon gets his actual turn. And he's going to walk up to unconscious Gore and say, I'd really hoped for a bit more of a challenge. And he just kind of takes the hilt of his sword and cracks it down on Gore's head and turns away and spits on his unconscious body and kind of turns away and starts to walk off. Gore, that's one death saving throw against you. And as you see him walk off, he motions to the rest of the kobolds, and they let the rest of the hostages go free. And he says, well, it wasn't much of a fight, but I am a half-dragon of my word. Somebody faced me, and I'll keep my end of the bargain. And he lets all the hostages go and starts to walk off. Ander.
Is there any chance that I can run back through the keep and run as fast as I can to get to Gore before he has to make his final death saving throw?
Well, let's see. You've got one turn with which you can dash, and it's... I mean, the short answer is no.
Crap.
Oh, before his final death save?
Yeah.
He's got two more. Let's see.
You could jump.
Yeah, you could jump. Yes.
Hold on.
The door to the keep is right back here. Is on this square.
That would take me 2 turns just to get there, even with a dash. Can't really jump because I've only got 1 hit point.
I could also try to heal him.
I'm gonna yell for somebody to help him. Help him. That's all I can do. But I am gonna at least start running that way.
Okay. And Julian?
Julian walks up and kind of is in shock that his comrade has fallen and attempts to just hold his hands over the wound and stop the bleeding.
Okay.
And
Make a medicine check.
Come on.
All right, he's stabilized.
and finds this cask on the floor and picks it up.
Okay. So put 1 respite potion in your inventory. And since he's stabilized, the half dragon and the kobolds are still, they're probably about 20 or 30 feet, about 30 feet away at this point. Elara, push to talk.
Okay. I come out there and I'm looking frantically for that. I mean, I know he's doing better now. I just saw it, but I'm wondering if that flask is going to do anything. But I don't see it on the ground.
You just saw Julian pick it up.
Yeah.
You very clearly saw her pick it up.
Okay. Sorry. Fine. And then I turn to her and I say, Escobar gave me that. Maybe we should. Do you think we need to hold on to it now, or should we give it to Gore?
Gore's fine.
You can see that he is conscious now.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. When you're stabilized, you get 1 hit point.
Oh, you do?
Pretty sure.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
you take no more death saving throws. You get 1 hit point.
Yeah, and you regain consciousness.
Oh.
You're still on the floor, though.
Right, you're prone, but you have 1 hit point.
Okay, that's not what the book says, though.
Oh, it's not?
It should be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
No,
is.
it says if somebody administers first aid with a wisdom check, then
That just
they're
stops
stable.
the death saving throws. You're still unconscious, though. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay. Oh, you get that's okay. They on a roll after you get 3 successful death saving throws, you become stable and gain 1 hit point.
But since we stabilize you, you're just unconscious with 0.
Right.
Rat.
Slap him, wake him up.
Is that all it'll take?
I don't know.
No.
No, he needs some kind of healing. So
Oh.
to that, Laura. I'm sorry. He is still unconscious. You can see that Julian has stabilized him. He's not necessarily bleeding out anymore, but he is still unconscious.
Okay. So I turn to Julian and say, okay, well, why don't you just keep that for later? Because I think that's going to be important at some point.
Useful.
And then, so I know she's got that, so I'm going to turn back to Gore. Can I do...
I lost you. You got to keep
have I
pushing.
done any spells lately? I don't remember.
Yeah, you're out of spell slots. I looked on your character sheet.
It's still the same day.
You hadn't tracked them. Yes, this is still 1 day.
Woof.
I'm pretty sure everybody's out of spells.
Yeah, I'm definitely out of spells.
Well, shoot. All right, well, I look down at him and I wish I could help him more, but I don't know what else to do. So, guess I'm just standing there looking down.
Okay.
If no one else is gonna do anything, I drag the corpse inside.
Okay.
The corpse? Did you just say the corpse?
As soon as you drag him inside, Escabert and Nighthill and Kuth all run over and kind of gather around Gore's body, and Escabert pulls out a potion. It just looks like a regular healing potion, and pours it down Gore's throat. And he looks up at you, Ylar, and says, "What happened to that potion I gave you?"
You
Well,
talking about this, Julian?
Well, I tried to use it, but they said he didn't need it.
Aye, that's what I'm talking about. Well, give it to him when he comes around. He's earned that and far more. He's earned the respect of everyone in Greenest for facing down that monster when everyone else here was too cowardly to do so. As he pours the potion down Gore's throat, and Gore gets back. What do healing potions do again?
2d6 plus. No, yeah, you're right. 2d4 plus 2.
Gore gets back 4 hit points. And you can all see through the portcullis that the army is retreating further and further into the darkness, and the threat seems to be gone. And Nighthill's still visibly shaken and just oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Oh, I hope they don't come back. And Kuth is trying to shake him and be come on, you gotta get yourself together. And Kuth says, Nighthill seems to be inconsolable. You all are, of course, welcome to stay here for the night, and anytime any of you will be welcome in Greenest. help yourself to any food in the kitchen or drinks, and just make yourselves at home.
Julianne suggests the Masons get back to work.
Alright, well, me being so wounded, I'm just gonna fall asleep after having drunk the potion, and I'll take my long rest now, please.
Yeah, okay, so you all can, you see that some of the soldiers start going in and repairing the door and the damage that had been done, and you all can go up inside of the keep.
Julianne likes the stars and kind of rests on the roof.
Okay.
Anders gonna take modest accommodations. In other words, just kind of like a cot and a blanket, and that's it. He's gonna provide what other comforts this keep may have to who else may need it more than he.
Okay. So you all can go your separate ways and explore the keep, eat anything you need, and everyone finally gets a long rest and can sleep the night. Do you all want to, before you go to bed, discuss anything amongst yourselves, or are you just going to crash?
At this point, Anders wanting to just crash.
We've had quite a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's time to go chill.
All right. So you all go to sleep, get all your hit dice back, get all your hit points back, get all your spell castings back. Basically, brand new, just as if it was a brand new day. In the morning, Nighthill comes in, and what do you all do in the morning? Ander is in just kind of in the barracks with some of the other guards. Julian's sleeping up on top of the tower. Yes, Allison, go ahead and reset in your spell book. Go ahead and reset all your spell castings to 0, because you get those back, so you haven't spent any of your spell slots yet. Reset your HP to your maximum, and I think that's all you need to do. So in the morning, Nighthill comes to you all and says, I don't know what's going on with this group. Some of my scouts had seen them walking off to the east, and I've got to know more. I'm willing. You all have done so much for this town already, just being strangers. But now that I've seen that you're worth your medal, I'm willing to offer you all 250 gold apiece. And to you all, that's like a buttload of money. Probably none of you have ever seen that much money. If you will just track these raiders to their camp, we've got our prisoner that we interrogated said that they came from a camp, but he couldn't give us specific directions. If you can somehow track or follow the stragglers of this army into their camp and find out exactly what they're doing and what they want, I would gladly pay you for any information you could bring back.
Well, let me save you some time. First of all, I wish no payment for myself.
That
I think
works.
you must keep the stock of the town alive with their economy. If anything, I wish you to make a donation to the church in my honor. All that I require is perhaps some fine-tuning of my mace. Did a blacksmith survive? Do we know if a blacksmith survived?
I have not finished taking complete stock of the town. I don't know if the blacksmith is alive or dead at this point, but we do have a modest forge here at the keep, and any repairs that you need to your armor or weapons will certainly be afforded to you.
That is good. That is all I require. Andrew's gonna look around at Ylara, Gore, Julian, and Warland and say, shall we proceed? Is this fair enough for you?
It sounds pretty insane, but what else? Other choice do we have?
Let's go.
Yep.
Okay. As you're kind of packing up and getting prepared to go on the journey, a young I haven't read any box text from the book yet, but I didn't expect us to get this far tonight, so I'm going to. A young man walks up to you, limping heavily on his bandaged left leg. I hear that you intend to follow the raiders and see where they've gone. I'd like nothing better than to come with you, but in this condition, I'd slow you down. In the midst of all this tragedy, there's no reason you would have heard about the fate of my master, Leosin Erlenthar, but it's important, you know. It's important that you know. He's a monk from Burdusk. He disappeared last night after we fought a particularly savage battle against the raiders. A few others and I fought our way to the keep, barely. Leosin didn't make it at all. We went back this morning to look for him, but all we found was his broken staff and this choker, which he always wore. And he holds up the choker necklace, and you can see that it's a small harp, just like the one that you took off of the gnome that you found killed in the forest when you first came close to Greenest.
Who took it?
Who took what?
The stuff from the gnome.
Sounds like Jarl.
It was me.
Ylara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or did Warland end up with it?
One of
Pretty
you
sure
two.
you have it.
Okay, fine, I have it. So I pull it out and I go, oh my gosh, remember this? It's the same.
The monk says, Where did you get that?
I took it off the body of a gnome that we found slain in the woods.
Oh, that was one of our party. He got separated from us when we were on our way here from Burdusk to investigate this cult.
Damn.
So he met his maker. Well, I hope that my master Leosin doesn't meet the same fate. For now, all we can assume is that the raiders have captured him. And he gives you the necklace and says, "Show these to Leosin if you come across him, and he will trust you." And then the bandage monk kind of turns and hobbles away back into the barracks where he came from. Unless anyone has any questions for him or wants to discuss anything amongst yourselves. No? All right.
Well, I have a question, and I'll call out after him after he leaves. How are we going to recognize your master?
He gives you a description. He's a half-elf, about 5.5 feet tall, with black hair, jet black hair, and a black mustache. And you know that there are not too many half-elves around, so... And you didn't see any half-elves that were members of the Raiders or cultists, so he's probably the only half-elf that's going to be with them as a prisoner.